Volvos are safe, and they're boring, and they're slow, right? Despite its reputation as one of the most vanilla family trucksters around, the Volvo 240 is actually a sick platform for speed. Today, we have one of the cleanest, most custom Swedish sleepers around. Hold on to your Lingonberries, we're going indestructible bumper to indestructible bumper on this 1983 turbo Volvo 242 DL. A big thanks to our sponsor this week, CuriosityStream. It's a streaming service with thousands of documentaries, nonfiction, and original content from some of the world's best filmmakers. For only $2.99 a month or $19.99 a year, you can get unlimited access to shows like How to Build a Castle or Heston's Dinner in Space. Do you know how cheap that is? I spend more than that on toothpicks. And it's available on almost every platform out there. And if you love things like science, nature, technology, or history, CuriosityStream is perfect for you. I'm talking you. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Right now, annual plans are 40% off for a limited time. So head over to curiositystream.com/bumper to bumper and feed your brain. Mine's feeling a little famished right now. I'm pretty dumb. Volvo doesn't exactly have a reputation for making fast, sporty cars. The Swedish company is better known for pioneering safety features, things like crumple zones and 3-point seatbelts. Their boxy and humble 240 model debuted in 1974 with an ultra-simple design. It quickly established its nearly indestructible nature and became a runaway success. Most 240s were powered by weak, uninspiring 4-cylinder engines. They were mostly advertised as safe and reliable. Smart suburban folks bought them because they were utilitarian and sensible. What most people seem to forget was that Volvo also raced in Group A, and despite their truly brick-like aerodynamics, they surprised the hell out of their competition.
Volvo now in the lead and beginning to pull away.
By the time Volvo 240s had won multiple touring car championships all over the world, they were known as flying bricks. With all that racing success going down, Volvo started advertising their boxes as sporty and fast. The potential was certainly there, and a little group of people knew that. Swedish car lovers. You know the type. They're kind of like cult members, just like a Jesse. He has 3 of them. 2 of them are the same model, year, and color. The Volvo 240 is the same thing to people who grew up in Sweden that the Fox body is to people who grew up in America. And Alex, this car's owner, he's actually from Sweden. The 240 is rear-wheel drive. It's easy to work on. Parts are easy to get. There's even a company that makes new stock 240 parts under contract from Volvo. Better yet, it's a lot easier to slip under the radar in a flying brick than a pony car. Though Alex rode in his family's 240 wagon jump seat as a kid, he bought this 242 DL for himself here in the States. The still glossy, mostly original single-stage paint is very descriptively named white. That right there tells you everything you need to know about Volvo 240s. To put that in perspective, Lexus currently sells a car painted in eminent white pearl. The 1983 DL trim was the base model with no sunroof, a slightly lighter and less leak-prone platform to build on. The blocky 80s headlights and grille were ditched in favor of the more classic-looking single-round units and a darker grille from the 78 model. It also has the desirable, sleeker flat hood from an earlier year. This Swede rides low thanks to some custom coilovers with adjustable Coney race strut inserts and Bilstein dampers in the rear. You're about to find out that Alex isn't your typical wrench monkey. He custom designed, hand built, and at least touched almost everything on this 240 other than its boxy body. Now these wheels are a special bit of kit. They're sort of like the optional factory Volvo 16x7 5-spokes, but Alex wanted that OG look in a bigger rim. So he cut the 5-spoke centers out, grabbed a set of 17x8 2-piece BMW wheels, and figured he'd put them together, which turned out to be a lot easier said than done. The results look awesome. Behind the bespoke 5 spokes are Brembo 4-piston calipers with custom adapters up front and B5 Audi S4 calipers in the back. All 4 rotors ride on custom rotor hats and have custom dust shields fabbed up by Alex. I bet this thing could stop even if it drove into a spilled truckload of slimy dead Swedish fish. 2JZ engine? Oh sh**. Alright, it's not a 2JZ, it's a Frankenstein 2J Swede. This is a 2.8 liter inline 6 turbo short block from a 1999 Volvo S80 wearing a non-VVT head from a 1995 Volvo 960. The intake plenum right here was adapted from a Chinese copy of an HKS manifold for a 2JZ, and that goes into a custom adapted set of E46 M3 individual throttle bodies. The 240 is now drive-by-wire using a BMW S85 V10 actuator that rotates in reverse on a preposterously complicated bracket Alex had to make himself. What you can see are the Garrett GTX 3067R Turbo, custom twin scroll exhaust manifold, tie-all wastegates, and tailor-made carbon fiber strut tower brace. All of this is controlled by a Link G4 Plus Extreme ECU, and Alex and his brother rewired the entire car from scratch. That alone took about 200 hours. Running 14 PSI on 91 octane, everything adds up to a very entertaining yet totally reliable 320 rear wheel horsepower and 320 foot-pounds of torque. The most amazing part about this engine bay is that it looks totally OEM, like this stuff always belonged here, even though none of it ever did. The power goes to a 5-speed manual from an NA Mark IV Supra. Just about the only things left on this car that are original to it are the rear half of the drive shaft, the gas tank, and the steering column. That's it. The interior was also completely gutted and redone. The whole color scheme was changed back to black. The dash is flocked for a rally vibe, and the headliner and rear shelf are lined with suede. Recaro seats give the driver more support while also giving the cabin a sportier look. The shift knob was made by Alex and designed to look stock. A period correct bow plunked head unit paired with MB Court speakers pump out all the ABBA or Cardigans or Eagle-Eyed Cherry tunes your Swedish music loving heart desires. The centerpiece of the dash is a Honda CBR 1000 RR motorcycle cluster with a new laser engraved gauge face to match the new engine's RPM range. That's super sick, because this doesn't rev to 14,000 RPM.
Now for the best part.
I get to fire up this smorgasbord of mostly Swedish goodies. I can just feel that turbo spool up. I love the driving position. All right. I need to buy a Volvo for sure. I'm gonna go on Greg's list right after this. Volvos might have a stodgy reputation, but their cult is growing every day. People are waking up to the performance potential in the lightweight rear-wheel drive bricks. There are Volvo clubs and all Volvo car shows. There are Volvos with engine swaps and turbos kicking ass all over the drag strip, drift circuits, and the internet. There's an undeniable satisfaction in building a sleeper and surprising some unsuspecting drivers, especially if they're behind the wheel of a traditional sports car. The next time you pull up to a Volvo at a stoplight, I'll bet you're gonna take a closer look.
Oh, did you miss the holiday shipping deadline? Oh, no problem. Introducing Donut Digital Gift Cards. Put the numbers in the pewter, give it to your lovey-dove, and he'll be rocking donut by January.
Hey, thanks for watching Bumper to Bumper, and thanks to Alex for bringing his car out. Check out our podcast, Pass Gas. We'll probably talk about Volvo at some point. Hey, if you haven't checked out High Low, we took 2 cars, built one with cheap parts, one with very expensive parts. It's on YouTube now, so please check that out. I think it's an amazing series, most fun I've had in my life. Be nice. See you next time.